as Scottsbluff County officials have been wrestling with issues surrounding a spike in property valuations this month. A new development was announced that has somewhat complicated this year's valuation protests. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Brian Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, during a discussion at a special county board meeting this week, Board Chair Ken Meyer noted that County Assessor Angie Dillman has been hospitalized at a Denver healthcare facility for a medical issue. There is no deputy county assessor that has the certifications and qualifications to carry on the duties of the office in her absence, causing some doubt as how to proceed. Following an executive session at the end of the meeting, board member Charlie Knapper explained the outcome.
Mark Luce from the Property Tax Assessment Division of the Department of Revenue with the state of Nebraska is going to be the acting interim assessor, taking care of the statutory duties of the office. And then Gene Bauer, our Register of Deeds for Scottsbluff County, is going to be the acting interim deputy director, handling administrative duties.
The issues follow problems discovered with errors on valuations for feedlot operations in the county. Another change is that residential property owners seeking a valuation adjustment based on a property sale within the last 2 years now need to attend their hearing with the Board of Equalization, unlike the process used in previous years when the assessor adjusted the value with no hearing needed. Well, as widely anticipated, Deb Fischer announced that she will be running for a third term representing Nebraska in the U.S. Senate. Surrounded by longtime supporters and several high-ranking community leaders and elected officials at the Nebraska State Capitol in Lincoln, Senator Fischer made it official on Wednesday morning. She tells KNB News she was excited to make the announcement and would be honored to continue serving the state and its residents.
We've gotten a lot of really good things done for people here in the state, and I just feel such support. I still feel the call to serve, and I'm looking forward to a strong campaign and another 6 years in the Senate.
In addition to discussions with her husband Bruce about another term, Fischer says she received a lot of encouragement from supporters to seek another term. She says she's taking nothing for granted and has already assigned campaign chairs in each of the state's 93 counties, as well as more than 1,000 people from across the state who have offered their support through endorsements. We'll have more news right after this.
Swipe right, swipe left, endlessly searching. Finding the perfect match isn't always perfect, but it can be when it comes to finances. Nora found the perfect business loan. Jenny opened her first savings account. Grammy loves her checking account. We found a match for Wilson Farms. The Sandersons were matched with a mortgage. Regardless of your financial situation, Platte Valley Bank will match you with the perfect solution. Find your match at Platte Valley Bank.
Life Care promises us that we are looked after and taken care of properly.
If I didn't have Life Care, I would be probably scared to death about having enough money for when I got older or when I got sick.
Moving in here was an easy decision and in fact a no-brainer. I looked at it as actually buying long-term care insurance and in retrospect a good move.
One of the things that convinces me that we did the right thing is no matter what happens, we will constantly be taken care of.
The whole thing is just vital because you don't have to be worried about what's ahead for you. It's there, it's in black and white, and that's reassuring.
This is home. It has been from the day I moved in.
Welcome back. A burglary in Scottsbluff results in arrest and criminal charges for the 44-year-old suspect. Lenny Fenner was arrested earlier this month after reportedly breaking into a home on 7th Avenue and stealing a backpack. The homeowner called police and told officers that Fenner was walking down the street as they arrived. Officers arrested Fenner, who's now facing charges including burglary and possession of a controlled substance. Bond's been set at $26,510%, and a July 6th preliminary hearing date has been set. Well, a California man is set to stand trial next month in Kimball County District Court following a November 2021 traffic stop on I-80. 24-year-old Andrew Mendoza will stand trial on July 19th and 20th on charges of possession of a firearm with a drug violation, carrying a concealed weapon, and no drug tax stamp. Court documents say a trooper pulled over a vehicle for speeding, and a subsequent search uncovered 37 pounds of marijuana, more than a pound of psilocybin mushrooms, and a loaded handgun. The driver, Myra Williamson, was arrested as well and is facing a single charge of possession of a firearm with a drug violation, and she has pleaded not guilty. And former Chadron State College President Janie Park died Tuesday in Montana at the age of 76. Park, who served as CSC's 10th president from 2005 to 2012, was the institution's first female president. She brought a calm demeanor and provided a steady hand while the college experienced bizarre circumstances, including a wildfire in 2006 that threatened the campus and the city of Chadron. Outgoing President Randy Ryan said that he and Park worked together for 17 years and says she was a great mentor and dear friend. A memorial service for close family members will be scheduled at a later date.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the FNBO Ag Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
Welcome to Fridays in the Field, brought to you by FNBO, the great big small bank. Welcome back here to Central Nebraska. Now, typically we'd have Jacob Roth in this spot, but a big congratulations to him and his family as they just welcomed in a new baby. So I'm filling in for Jacob this week as we come back to Dawson County to talk with Don Beatty about his research trials here in Central Nebraska. And Don, thanks so much for being able to talk with us once again. But as we come back in, we've gotten some good moisture since your first conversation. So tell us, how are the crops looking?
Most of the crops look fantastic. We did get an inch and a half of rain just a little bit ago. Unfortunately, got a little bit of hail, so it stripped up a few of the leaves. Probably not going to be a major yield reduction, but you know, hail is never a good thing.
every little bit takes off of it. And let's talk about the research. So in the pivot that we're currently standing on, it's nematodes and it's cover crops are two of the major things that you're studying. So let's start there first with the nematodes. This is fascinating to me. You're focusing on Bt traits, and these nematodes are to help maximize those traits. Is that right?
Right. These are good nematodes. When I first tell farmers I injected nematodes in my farm, they look at me like I'm crazy, and I quite frankly probably am. But these are insect-eating nematodes. They eat the insect larvae in the soil. And so the hope is that, and they are naturally occurring in Nebraska. However, this strain was actually developed in Cornell to be a little bit more persistent and long-lasting. So the hope is that the nematodes in the ground will help prevent resistance to our Bt herbicides that are currently used for rootworm. And so that's what this is, a second year of a 4-year trial on that.
So coming in, so this is year 2 of it. You're going to replicate it though another 2 years, and that's
Correct.
The thing to keep in mind with research. You do it over multiple years, multiple seasons to get a good aggregate of data.
Correct. 4 years on there, plus there are multiple farms involved. I'm one of 3 cooperators in around Lexington, plus there's 3 more cooperators south of North Platte. And I've been told it's being replicated in states all the way from Colorado to Indiana. So it's being replicated in multiple places to find out if this is actually a workable scenario.
Now I can see farmers sitting at home right now watching us, and they're going, how did you actually get nematodes put out on it? So if you could, if that isn't trade secrets, tell us how you got the nematodes on the ground.
The nematodes came, and I'm working with Dr. Julie Peterson of the West Central Research Center in North Platte. And so the nematodes arrived, they diluted them in some water, and they had to put a aquarium bubbler in it to keep oxygen moving, and so it's a slurry. They brought out 30 gallons, which who knows how many nematodes it contained, probably millions. And we actually injected that through our chemigation port on our pivot. So yeah, it's very strange, but it worked out quite well. I've been told the nematodes survived when they did their soil samples. The nematodes lived, and so that's great.
There you go, the injection port on a pivot. It has so many more purposes than what we initially think.
Yeah, that was when they first told me that's how they're going to put them in. I looked at it kind of puzzled, but.
The other half of the research that's going on this pivot, though, is cover crops, which
Correct.
actually you were just finished up drilling as we were getting ready to shoot our piece here today. So tell us what variety of cover crops or what blend of cover crops are going in, and what's the thought there?
It's a very diverse blend where you have winter wheat, rye, annual ryegrass, rapeseed, clovers, buckwheat, flax, cowpeas. Like I say, we threw a lot of stuff in it. The idea is they have noticed fields with cover crops seem to have less issues with rootworms, but they don't know why. So that's part of the research, is to figure out what's going on. What synergy is the cover crops doing with the rootworms? And so we have the 2 different things we're doing, and we split it. Each practice has a half a pivot, but they're rotated, so we have 4 different practices out here. And so right where we're standing actually has both nematodes and cover crop on it. And it's, again, long-term research to figure out what the synergistics are.
So it's going to be really interesting to see, and then what a wide variety, a lot of biodiversity is going to be happening when you have those on. Early thoughts, if it helps on the rootworm side of it, is it going to have any impact to yield, especially given the fact that while we've gotten good moisture, we're still not out of a drought?
I was a little concerned about that my first year, but last year, honestly, we had the annual ryegrass survived well, the cowpeas survived, the buckwheat isn't early and it died off real early. I'm not sure the cereal rye or the winter wheat did much. Flax, I really don't have any idea what flax looks like, so I don't know if we had flax survived or not. So it was, right now the corn is about knee-high as I was drilling it, so the corn will canopy pretty quick. Really don't expect any detrimental effects to the cover crops, except what little on the ends turning around, I'd knock some corn over with the tractor. So it's one of those intriguing research things. It's a long term. We'll see what happens.
You got a lot of research going on the farm. Thank you so much for sharing in with us. What are going to be some things you're going to be working on here on the next couple weeks before we get a visit again?
Right away, we'll be starting to side dress all of our nitrogen on all of our gravity irrigated fields. We're going to be ridging, getting pipe laid out, start water running. Right now, corn is in its maximum growth stage. We're knee high now. In a couple weeks, it'll be head high. So things are changing fast right now.
It's one where you can almost just sit out here and just listen to the corn grow.
You could.
And again, is Don Beatty here for Fridays in the Field, brought to you by FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank.
Logos in Gering is the place to get all of your school spirit gear, personalized gifts, and promotional items for your business and employees, and banners for any special event. Logos is also the only place to stop for custom screen printing or embroidery. You can even design it yourself on their interactive website. Stop into Logos today. They'll design it, print it, and have it to you in no time. There's no job too big or small for Logos. That's Logos in Gering.
Let's take a peek at your weekend community calendar, brought to you by Riverstone Bank. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
You deserve to have a building that will last for generations. With more than 110 years of experience and thousands of satisfied customers, Morton Buildings is the industry leader you can trust. If you're planning for a garage, farm shop, horse barn, storage building for your RV, boat, or collectibles, there's no better time to buy. Contact your local Morton sales office or visit mortonbuildings.com to get started today.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you plan for tomorrow while you enjoy today. Our personalized trust services can help you do just that. You've worked hard to build your legacy, and you want to make sure that gets passed on for generations to come. We offer the professional guidance necessary to ensure that happens, according to your wishes. We pride ourselves in being friendly and professional while offering a highly tailored full line of trust and estate planning services to accommodate you. You belong here.
And finally tonight, after years of planning, preparation, and fundraising, the region's first of its kind independent living center for developmentally disabled people is ready for its grand opening. Northfield Haven, located near the Northfield Retirement Community in Gering, is the culmination of a $1.2 million effort that started several years ago. The 15-unit space offers independent living opportunities and the first of its kind in western Nebraska. The Scottsbluff-Gering United Chamber of Commerce will have a ribbon-cutting ceremony on Thursday, July 6th, as well as honor longtime Twin Cities Development Director Rhonda Pierce as she gets ready to retire. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great holiday weekend, and I'll see you back here on Wednesday.